talking about stressing less and sleeping better. So I did hand out the Stress Less kit, so I'll let you, oh yeah, you can maybe just point that out. So we're going to be going over details of basically how and why to use the essential oils. And I'm also going to pass these around. You can use that at the end. They're just living guides, which some of you might have. Maybe you guys can share on this couch or, sorry, I only have 4. But basically, you don't need to look at that right now, but I will touch on that a little bit at the end. So that has a lot of really good information. So today's really just kind of to empower you and educate you to help you find the right tools in your own home to have when something happens, to have a natural alternative to go to first before you have to go to modern medicine. So I will tell you for myself, I am not against modern medicine in any way, but knowing that I have things that I can use in my own medicine cabinet, the essential oils that I can use first when something happens, cuts, scrapes, bruises, colds, anything like that, I'd rather use something natural before taking my kid or myself into the doctor or anything like that. So as we go through the class, if you have you know, friends or anything in mind that they have ailments or issues or anything like that, I can pass around a pen. I meant to do that. But jot it down, and at the end of class, I will actually give you samples and stuff for free if you want to take some home to other people too, just so you can kind of share it with them. And then if you like the things that I'm talking about and you feel like this might be something that you would be good at, talk to me after too, because doTERRA has a really good mentoring program where they I'm always looking to develop new relationships with people and on the business side of things too. So that just talk to me after class. So, all right, so we're talking about stressing less. So everybody stresses. What do you guys stress over?
Children.
Children. That's the biggest one for me right now. What else?
Cooking, housework.
It's just the daily routine of things.
Yeah, it gets kind of mundane after a while.
It does. What else?
Doing too many things.
Work.
Not resting.
Doing too many things. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely in America. We just go nonstop. You know, I went to visit Italy and they have siestas in the middle of the day and they get to take naps. I wish that there was a scheduled nap time in the middle of every day. I would be such a nicer, happier person, but there's not. So that's why we have essential oils. But basically, everybody stresses. Everybody has stress. But how we deal with stress is the key. Everybody has different stresses, but everybody reacts to stress differently. So, for example, when I owned the studio, I owned a ballroom dance studio for 5 years, and I had the worst time sleeping almost the entire 5 years. Until I got pregnant. I slept really good when I got pregnant. So for 4 years, the first 4 years, because I would think I'm totally fine, I would go to sleep, and then 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, my eyes would pop open, and I'm thinking I have to do this and this and this. And sometimes I could not fall back to sleep unless I actually like opened up my computer or wrote things down. Like sometimes I think I would have the best ideas at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, but they would keep me awake. And I would be like that all the time, before every showcase, before everything that was going on. My mind just never turned off. I am around a lot of people, and I help a lot of people through their stresses, and a lot of people stress sometimes, or sometimes the reason for not sleeping is maybe they are not active enough during the day. Maybe there's so many different reasons. So give me some ideas of what you guys deal with. Does your sleep get disrupted? Do you have muscular aches and pains? Do you have
I do.
headaches?
I get restless leg syndrome.
Okay.
And it just feel very restless at night, but I can't fall back to sleep.
Okay. What else? Shannon, how do you sleep? Pretty well being pregnant? Not so well?
Let's see. I woke up at...
Not because you have to go to the bathroom.
3:30 this morning. Yes, I did go to the bathroom, but then 3:30, so I just laid there reading emails to hopefully make me fall back to sleep instead of turning on a light. So then I could just throw my phone over when I start to doze off like I always do. And I was up for like 2 hours, and then my son started crying at 7.
Yeah.
Or before 7. So.
What about you girls?
Pretty good.
Like, how do you react to stress? Like, if you feel like you're stressed, what do you feel? I'm just asking because everybody's different. It'll help kind of gear what the things that I talk about if I have a better idea of how you stress.
I get emotional, I think.
That's a big one for most women. Very emotional. Yeah. Another thing for me, anytime I was really stressed, I would always think during the day, not at night, because it always affected my sleep. That was the biggest clue that I had a lot of stress. But my neck would go out. Like, I would turn my head and I'd pop, and then I'd be stuck like this. And this started when I was like around 18. So anytime something, I never thought it was due to stress until as I got older, I realized it always happened during a time that was very stressful. Even though I'm like, no, I'm fine. Then my neck would go out and I was like, it was all, yeah. So our body reacts differently to stress. So learning how to manage your stress is so important. So we're going to talk about some different ways that we can do that. But it's not just about oils, it's about lifestyle. So you can't just, you know, put an oil on the bottom of your foot and think, oh, I'm going to sleep perfectly. Yes, it might help you, but doing things like alcohol, I do like to drink wine. Alcohol is a big one. Like if you're drinking too much or drinking too close to bedtime, it may help you fall asleep, but it also is what wakes you up in the middle of the night. That's a big one. Watching TV in bed, trying to make the conscious effort of doing things that will relax you at night. Like maybe whatever is relaxing for you. Reading a book, not watching TV, that's another one that can kind of keep you awake. Reading a book, listening to maybe some kind of music, relaxation music, taking a bath, maybe with lavender oil or some different oils. Just something to try to relax you. Those are all things that you have to incorporate into your lifestyle. Not eating a lot of sugars late at night, things like that. So it's not just about oils, it's about our lifestyle overall. So if you actually look right here, we're going to be talking about what essential oils are. So essential oils actually come from plant extracts. They're 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So basically you can see what this is a picture of. It's a picture of a peppermint sac. So that's actually where the peppermint is extracted from. And every drop of peppermint, one drop is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. They're very, very, very strong, very potent. So one of the key things is learning how to use your essential oils properly. It's great to have the oils, and I'll give you some examples later of, I don't want to say the wrong ways to use oils, but there is wrong. You have to be careful, just like anything. It is natural medicine. It is a form of natural medicine. I don't know if that was totally approved by the FDA for me to say that, but that's okay. You have to be very careful with how you say things. By no means am I saying any of the essential oils are cures for anything. I'm just saying they can enhance your life. There, I'll leave it at that. Okay, so there's different forms of essential oils. So if you actually look at the middle box, there's synthetic, therapeutic, food, and CPTG. So basically, synthetic is going to be anything fake. That's going to be anything down the grocery store aisle, like lemon-scented pledge or anything like that. Therapeutic grade is going to be when you go get a massage and they offer you an enhancement of, do you want, you know, lavender to help relax you or whatever it is that they offer. So it's going to be a little bit of a better quality, but it's not going to be the same types of oils that we're talking about today. And you will never ingest those oils, so that's really important to know. Food grade, I think it's grass, generally recognized as safe. So that's going to be the food quality, so you can actually eat it, drink it, whatever. Certified pure therapeutic grade is the CPTG. So doTERRA is the only company in the world that has CPTG oils. They are the most pure. Every drop is completely pure. You cannot get any more pure than the drops that are in doTERRA. And I'm just saying this because it's really important to know the difference of the doTERRA oils versus other companies. So if you go to Whole Foods and you get a Melaleuca oil or something, only 10% has to be pure and the rest can be fillers. So you don't really know what you're getting. So if you're wondering when you're trying out those oils, they may smell good, they just don't have the same effects that as like the doTERRA essential oils. So that's why doTERRA oils are a little bit more pricey, but a little tiny bit goes a much longer way.
Are the ones in Whole Foods you can take internally? Or no?
Most of them, I would never take one of those internally. I would say most of them probably say do not take internally on the bottle, but I don't even look at them, so I can't tell you to say for sure. Yeah, I'm going to say probably not. You probably can't, and I definitely don't suggest it. Effectiveness. Okay, so I love this little picture. So if you look at the cells, so basically if you get a virus of some sort and you go to the doctor, do you have to block somebody?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. If you go to the doctor and you get a virus, they're going to say there's no antibiotics for you, right? You get antibiotics when you have a bacteria, some sort of bacteria, whatever. But for a virus, you actually they don't give you anything. If they do prescribe you some kind of antibiotic, it's just as a secondary measure. That's why they do it, and most of them don't do it. But the reason why essential oils, so like if you look at the little white box that just says threat, that basically is where your virus is. And basically essential oils can penetrate through the cell membrane when antibiotics can't. So that's why essential oils are so effective. So that's really important to know. I'm going to give you an example of this. So recently I had a lady that came to me that has stage 4 cancer, and I had a lot of help with this, but I did a lot of research for like 2 days over what the best essential oils that could possibly help her and how she should be using them and dosage and all of that. And frankincense is proven. You can actually look at the PubMed.org website and you can look at all kinds of studies with specifically about frankincense. And frankincense is proven to kill cancer cells. So one of the main things as we talk about this is what makes me think about it. Frankincense, one of the studies that I was reading was actually showing that frankincense was more powerful than chemotherapy in brain cancer patients. Over 10,000 studies in brain cancer patients. So the way that they would apply it is back on the brainstem, on the forehead, under the nose, behind the ears. Those are all great points to put them on the pad of your thumb, up on the roof of your mouth. Also taking it internally. But the reason why putting it in those spots, it actually is able to pass through the blood-brain barrier. So the blood-brain barrier is actually like a really dense, thick, like a wall of cells basically. And the essential oils are lipid soluble, so they're able to pass through. It gets into your bloodstream faster. Will you get up for me? Thank you. It's actually able to get into your bloodstream faster. So it's just pretty amazing, the science behind it. And I definitely recommend looking into that, because for me, as I started using the oils and getting introduced to it, I heard so many stories about this worked for my brothers, mothers, whatever, and that's awesome, but at the same time, I also like to know the facts of exactly how it works, so I definitely highly suggest looking into that. So, I like that. This is a good bit of information. So the 3 different ways that we use essential oils, come on in. You could just pull up a chair if you want, or you can squeeze in. There's room over here on the couch. Come sit next to Shannon. Hi. Here, take one of these too.
Sorry, excuse me.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. It's okay. Come in, join us. You just missed lots of good information.
I'm sure.
I think it was good information anyway. Okay. So the 3 different ways that we use essential oils are aromatically, topically, and internally. So we're right down here on this middle section. So aromatically is like diffusing right now. So we're talking specifically about stress management and relaxation and sleeping better. So some of the main oils, obviously they're listed. I was just going to say, can you tell me some of them? They're listed right there, so I'm not going to ask that question. But everybody's body chemistries work different. So just because you try something and if it's not working doesn't mean that the essential oils don't work. It's finding the essential oil or oils that best works for you. So a lot of times if you're looking stuff up, and I did bring a couple books just because I like to show you all the best tools for you to have on hand all the time. These 2 books are the best. They're like, I call them the Bible of essential oils. So we have the Modern Essentials book, and then we have the Essential Life. This one's a little bit newer. Have you guys seen these, or do you have these?
No.
If you're using oils, you need to have one or both of these books. You can get them online, Amazon, whatever. I have one extra if somebody wants to purchase it, but they're amazing. This one is like my new favorite. But it'll tell you how and why, and it has everything you could possibly want in there. So really, really good stuff, so you don't have to like look everything up online, and you don't have to text me all day. I don't mind though. What do I use for a scratch? No. So everything is in there, so just, you know, when you look something up, you might see 10 different oils that go along with whatever the ailment is. It does not mean that you have to have all 10, but you need to start trying out those oils. If you have 4 out of the 10, I would suggest trying each one individually first and seeing if it affects you. Sometimes using them together also is very effective. So I do have a couple things I'm going to give away at the end, and Renee, I forgot you were coming because I gave you a little sample of the sleep oils.
Yes.
So I have a blend that I sample out to people all the time. It works really well, and I've sampled it to I don't even know how many people, and I've only had one person tell me that it didn't work. So of course my response to them was, okay, well let's find something different. Let's, you know, switch it up, add something different in. So the oils that in my sleep remedy, it's not really mine, I get it from other people, you know. So it's Balance, Vetiver, Serenity, and Lavender. And there is lavender in Serenity, so if you're at home and you don't have lavender but you have Serenity, that's fine. I just find that adding extra lavender is even more effective. So I rub it on the bottoms of my feet, bottoms of the big toe. That's a great place. After 30 seconds, it's in every cell of your body, and after 15 minutes, after 30 seconds, it's in your bloodstream. After 15 minutes, it's in every cell of your body. It's pretty amazing. So I'm going to show you a 2-minute video of the Balance oil, and what you're going to see is just what your cells look like under a microscope before and after Balance oil. Has anybody seen this? Yes? No? It's pretty cool. Renee, I'm glad you made it.
I know. Barely made it. My GPS had me all over.
Yes,
I know.
that's true.
I thought
We gotta
I
have
thought I had special needs or something.
We found each
I
other
felt
and then
so-
felt circles.
It felt so stupid.
It's not you,
Oh,
Yeah, it was totally good.
I kept flying down the street because I thought she lived up the hill. I kept passing Doric, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go this way again. And then I saw Doric. I was like, wait, back up.
Yeah, it didn't
You're good.
tell me
Okay.
Doric.
No, it didn't tell me Doric.
Okay. Yeah, so.
Saying
But-
turn on something and will.
Exactly, yeah.
And I was like, there is no
I know.
will. Then it took me to like a gate. I'm like, okay, I can't get through that gate.
I was there.
Can you help?
I was there.
I just did this earlier. Now give me just a second. Oh, hold on. I think the Apple TV turned off. You know, we've only been in this house for a very short period of time, so having everything hooked up is not, and everything is hooked up. It's Carrie not knowing how to use everything. Give me just a second. Oh, shoot. It's working. Hold on. It's coming.
Oh, thank you. They're so comfy too. You know what? Should I take off my shoes?
Yes, please.
I looked around and I looked. Sorry.
No, you're fine. We're not
I
recording.
love that rule in my house.
Okay,
My
well,
husband
I'm
doesn't
just going to
have
show it to you on my
that rule.
computer. I was like, cool, new
Yeah.
TV, everybody can see it, but sorry, you guys are just going to have to look at it over here. I'm sorry about that. Can everybody see?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Sorry, hold on. I think I know how to get it. Sorry, guys. Okay, whatever. You'll hear it through the speakers and you can watch it here. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. There we go. Can everybody see it? So basically it's just a video of the cells, like what they look like before Balance oil. All clumped together, if you can't read it.
Yeah, it's not coming up on the screen. You might have to read it.
Do you really want to feel like this? It says. This is by Dr. David Hill. I know I don't. Sample B blood from the same individual 30 seconds after applying 1 drop of doTERRA Balance blend on the bottoms of their feet. It's pretty cool, right? So you can find this on YouTube and you just put in doTERRA balance. So that's pretty much it. So it's just pretty amazing. I mean, there's so much information that you can find out there, but this is a really great one to share with other people too. So this is a very safe oil for pretty much anybody because it already has fractionated coconut oil inside the bottle, so you don't have to worry about using a carrier oil. It's a great one to use for kids. You can use for babies, for yourself. Free-flowing blood cells. Basically, that's it. I just wanted to show you guys that. I think it's pretty cool. So basically, talking about specific oils, I'm going to pass that one around. And just take it like a drop or two, rub it in your hands, rub it on the back of your neck. I think it's known as the grounding blend. It's called Balance. It comes from these really big trees. I love the way it smells. I don't think I loved the way it smelled when I first smelled it. I liked it, but it definitely grew on me. And I'm going to pass around another one that I really like too, and I use them together all the time. This is Elevation, and I am a usually very happy, positive person. I'm lucky because I don't struggle with depression or anything like that. But being, a part of working with doTERRA, I'm around a lot of people who are, and I'm always amazed. I was really amazed in the beginning at how many women, especially young moms, actually struggle with it. I understand it more now that I'm a mom, because of all the stress that goes along with having kids. But so this is Elevation. This is one that's used all the time. You have yes. This is one of my favorite ones too, and I like them together. So I put them in a little roller ball. I put equal amounts of Balance and Elevation, and then I add a little bit of extra fractionated coconut oil. So does everybody know what fractionated coconut oil is?
No.
Okay. So it's different than regular coconut oil. Regular coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
Well, coconut oil actually solidifies. So like if it's really hot, it'll be like liquid, and then if it's not, then it will be solid. So fractionated coconut oil is never solid. Thank you. It's actually liquid all the time. It's unscented. And you can use any carrier oil when you're using essential oils, but I recommend using fractionated coconut oil just because it doesn't clog any of the devices that you're using. So if you're using roller balls, it rolls on very smoothly. It's unscented. Other carrier oils that you can use, I'm going to keep talking, I'm just going to turn on the light. Other carrier oils, you can use basically anything. I don't personally like olive oil because it's greasy to me, and I don't like to feel greasy, but I do know a lot of people do like it.
Not passing this one.
Jojoba oil, grapeseed oil, any of those are good carrier oils. I just like fractionated because it's very light and I don't like to feel greasy. Yes.
How about sweet almond? Have you ever heard of that?
What is it?
Someone just commented about sweet almond.
Sweet almond oil?
Yeah.
You definitely can use it as any kind of oil as a carrier oil. I never used sweet almond oil myself, but you can definitely you can try it. But I'm assuming it has a scent, so if you're enjoying the smell of any of the oils that you're using, maybe you might not want to use something that has a scent already because they might not go very well together. But any kind of essential oil you can use. So that's Balance oil. Did you all rub it in somewhere? Back of your neck or something? Yeah. The cool thing about these oils is you're not going to feel greasy. It's not putting on a regular oil. It's not like getting a massage with some sort of oil and afterwards you feel all oily. It actually sinks into your skin very fast. And same with fractionated coconut oil. It actually sinks into your skin very fast. You don't have that, greasy feeling. Okay. So that's the number one that I use in my sleep oils. It's one of the main ones for just calming you down. It's meant to help your body find its state of homeostasis, like a balance within your whole body, which is why I showed you that video. So the next one that's really great, I just added Elevation in there because I really like it. So this one, I'm going to show you another video. I thought it was so cool that I had this all set up, but I'm not going to go get my husband because then the baby's going to start crying. So this actually comes from Haiti. So I really enjoy vetiver. When I pass it out, don't think it's going to be this oil that you're like, oh, it smells so good. It grows on you. It smells like soil, not like dirt, like soil, like rich, rich soil. I'm going to show you a quick video of vetiver, but this is like known as the all-natural sleep tranquilizer. And no, you're not going to take it and feel like it's a Xanax or anything like that. the way that it works within your body is you find that you are maybe sleeping a little longer. Maybe if you normally wake up every couple hours, maybe that's extended. Maybe instead of every 3 or 4 hours that you're waking up, now it's 5 or 6. And after you continue to use it, then you're just sleeping a little bit longer. It's really big for anxiety. So one of the key reasons that people have trouble sleeping is because of anxiety. And I do know that for me personally, when I owned my business, that was the main thing. Anxiety over, that's why my mind just continued to go crazy all the time. I was anxious about, everything under the sun. So, let's just watch this. I'm going to pause it for one more second. It's really important to understand that these oils come from all over the world. So there are other essential oil companies. There's a couple that are somewhat similar to doTERRA. What sets them apart is how they source their oils. So I always give the example of, and you see my backyard, don't show the backyard yet. It's like completely undone. But do you want a pineapple that I've grown, or would you like it from Hawaii? I'm sure you want it from Hawaii. doTERRA goes above and beyond to the most amazing countries all over the world, and while they're having the oil sourced, they're also doing amazing things for the country, so they have a lot of integrity, so I really enjoy that about the company. That was something that I looked into heavily before I even started buying the oils. So this is 5 minutes long, and this is the last video. But I just think it's necessary to see for everybody. Next class, I will have it up there. Obviously, I'm having issues, so take 30 seconds. Okay. James is here.
There you go. Sorry, I'm not James.
James is my go-to guy that is always at the classes, and he can fix any issue that I'm having. I have something linked to this, and it's... Okay, we're going to skip it. Sorry, I don't want to take up time doing this. So basically, I just want to explain how they source vetiver. Basically, it's this big giant plant, like a big bush-like plant. And basically they cut it off at the bottom, they take it off, they extract the oils, and they put the plant back in the ground, and then it grows again. It's really pretty cool. It's just amazing to see, and it's just interesting.
To be able to meet with the people who are harvesting the vetiver for us. The first reaction I had was hope. It was beautiful. It was lush and green. It was very different from what you see in the cities in Haiti. And the next thing I really noticed was how hard they work. Their calloused hands, their weathered faces, but they took pride in their work.
Vetiver is a really interesting crop in that it's a very hardy grass. It can grow just about anywhere. It was introduced there primarily for the fragrance industry, and we have targeted for the aromatherapy industry specifically, both with our partners on the ground there and the cooperative we're working with to grow our raw materials.
The manual labor required to harvest vetiver is quite incredible. It's much harder than what I ever imagined. And they do this day in and day out. Not only do they pull the vetiver plant out of the ground, And then they've got to take a stick and they've got to beat the dirt out of the root system so that all they have left is just that pure vetiver root.
15 days to produce 1 gallon of oil. 500 of these bales to fill up one of those 20-foot tall steels, and after it's harvested, you'll get 1 gallon of oil for 5 guys' work for 15 days. Haiti, being the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, truly is an ideal place for co-impact sourcing. They have tens of thousands of small-scale farmers who are largely unorganized, and our being able to go there and truly make an impact, a difference in a country that badly needs it, presented us a great opportunity to undertake our sourcing initiatives there.
As we met with the cooperative and to be able to really understand some of the challenges and trials that they were dealing with. First of all is that the income that they were receiving was not sustainable. They would go out and harvest vetiver as they needed it, but it didn't sustain them throughout the year to be able to provide for their family, to provide the food that they needed, to be able to provide even the simplest of things like education. They couldn't afford to send their children to school because they didn't have that sustainable stream of income throughout the year.
Today we had a great meeting. They proved to me personally, I even cried after hearing certain things, that makes me more motivated to have those people working very hard in the vetiver field to make it a better life. Even if I have a distillery and I don't have those people, I won't be able to work. And even if those people have their field full of vetiver, if they don't have their distillery, nobody will be able. But it's like a chain on a motorcycle, on a bicycle that is going deep after deep, So we have been doing that work, and having a company like Dodera, coming and have the same vision, same route, and have all the Asians in the vetiver field have a better life, including myself.
What touched me the most as we met with them is to discover that they had no access to water. And they were traveling for 3 hours every single day to be able to collect water that wasn't even drinkable.
This was really very touching to hear, certain people in 2014 that didn't have water, to even bathe or water to even cook their food. They have to walk hours from where we were to get a single gallon of water. And myself, I don't accept that. I want to change their way of life, but I won't be able to make a miracle.
As we sat there, and we understood the desires of their hearts, and we made an agreement that we would bring that to them.
Isn't that kind of helpful to watch like how they actually source their oils? I find it kind of, well, very touching to see like all the great things that the company does. So I enjoy that part of it too. So that just gives you an idea. You just smelt 3 oils. So the last 2 I'm going to pass around are lavender and serenity. So like I said, there is lavender inside serenity, but I'll pass them around. Serenity is a blend. All oils you should try a carrier oil with until you're for sure that you don't have any kind of allergic reactions or not allergic, skin sensitivities, I should say. And just so you know, most people, when they have allergies towards things, usually don't have allergies towards the actual essential oils because it's so pure. So most people don't realize what they're allergic to is the chemicals in whatever it is that they're using. So back to the 3 ways of using essential oils: aromatically, topically, and internally. So when you're using or diffusing or putting it in your hand and smelling it, it's getting into your brain. I took a class from a brain surgeon, and he was talking about how he infuses essential oils into his practice. And by actually closing one nostril and smelling it through one, it affects a different part of your brain, and how he works that with his patients. It was really quite amazing, actually. So definitely diffuse things to help relax you. Any of the oils that I just passed around. Another one would be Roman chamomile is another good one. Cedar wood, anything like that is actually going to be helpful and relaxing. But smells that are nice for you, putting on the bottoms of your feet, any of the blends that we just actually passed around. And one of the things I'll be giving away, I made a little tiny sample of those oils that I just actually passed around, minus the elevation. So it's serenity, lavender. In this little bottle, there's 5 drops of serenity, 5 drops of lavender. I was trying to squeeze in 10 drops of vetiver because when I make it, I always go heavier on the vetiver because for me, that's what works the most for me. But I think I was able to fit like 7 or 8 in there. So 5 drops of everything, 7 or 8 of the vetiver. So it's a little, so cute, little tiny roller ball. So this is enough for to try out for maybe, I don't know, 4 to 5 nights, something like that. So Renee, how did it, you mind if I put you on the spot? How did it work for you? Because I have to just tell you, one day I was at this at the dance studio and there was a party and she was telling me she was having trouble sleeping, and I said, let me just make you something. Let me bring you something. And you're like, okay, I guess I'll try it. And what happened?
And it worked. I did as you suggested. I put it on the bottoms of my feet and on the back of my neck, up here on the top part of my neck. And you're right, it's not Ativan or it's not a narcotic.
Right. It's not gonna make you pass out.
So I was hoping, I don't know why I was expecting to just fall asleep, but I fell asleep without trying too hard. Mm-hmm. And so I really like the vetiver, and I experimented with putting a drop under my tongue.
Okay.
And it does help me sleep longer, and when I wake up to use the bathroom, I'm able to go back to sleep reasonably immediately.
Okay. So I remember when I gave it to her, I said, well, can I text you tomorrow and see how it went? She said, okay. So I texted her the first day, the next morning, and she said,
oh my gosh.
What you said, I don't know if you remember, but what you actually said was, you know what, I slept a little bit better, but I don't think it's because of the oils. And I said, okay, yeah. And then I said, okay, well, try it again tonight. Can I text you tomorrow? And you said, yeah. So I text you the next morning, and you're like, I don't know how, but I slept better again, but I still don't think I'm not convinced it's the oils. That's what you said. And so I think by the 3rd night, and I text you the next morning, you're like, okay, I want these oils. So, yeah, so it just helps. It's just, you're not going to feel it. Nothing takes effect. It's, it's all natural. You can use them every day for the rest of your life. It's nothing that you can get addicted to. Essential oils, every essential oil is beneficial to your body if you use it the right way. And like I said, there are some wrong ways, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. So I talked about the main oils that work for me, but you can kind of play with the oils and see what works for you. There's a bunch listed here, and there are many other benefits besides just relieving stress. and smelling good that you can actually use. On the back of the sheet, I'm not even going to go through that. There's extra tips and things like that of things that you can do to help yourself stress less. Do you guys have any questions over some of the oils that we just talked about?
Are those, I'm sorry, Balance and Serenity, are they online?
They are. They're in your back office, yeah.
Okay.
You can absolutely, almost every month I'm ordering Balance.
Okay.
I use it all the time. I use it on my son. It's very safe for kids. I would use it on them whether you think it's working or not. It probably is. And I will tell you what, I'm lucky because my son is not in daycare, but I definitely take him out all the time, take him to those play places with all the balls that are probably so dirty. The last time we went, there was like a little kid with his nose running, and I was like, with my, I have, do my own like hand sanitizer with On Guard and lemon, which I'm going to give one of those away today. I spray everything. Every time we go to the grocery store, I'm like, I'm spraying the cart down, I'm misting the air. I go to the doctor's office, and my pediatrician, she walks in, she's like, it smells like doTERRA in here. I'm like, yes, because I have little toys on the wall, and I sprayed them all. But I'll tell you what, my son, knock on wood, like, he just turned 2. He was only sick once, right around 6 months. And maybe he had one little cold the first time we flew. He had a runny nose, and that was it. So the essential oils are what is keeping him healthy, boosting his immune system, building a strong immune system. So essential oils are not something to use just when you have something happen when you get sick. It's something to use daily because you're helping and enhancing your body all of the time. So aromatically, topically, obviously that's going to be anything like that you put on your skin, okay, and internally is obviously taking it internally. You do have to be careful with that. Make sure most of doTERRA's oils you can ingest, but you do want to look on the bottles. They all say whether you can ingest them or not, and they all have so many different benefits that you can get from them. If you're drinking lemon, you're cleansing your organs, you're cleansing your body. You should drink lemon in your water all day, every day, forever. It tastes great. If anybody wants to try it, you can try it after. There is tangerine oil in the lemonade that you guys just drank. The way that I use my oils, I just want to show you, and I've never been like a vitamin taker. I just never really liked it, but after learning how beneficial it is, and I could go into the whole reason how I got introduced to the oils, but I'm not going to because that's a longer story. I was just sick all the time after I opened my business, and I was with people all the time. I was just getting colds all the time. But anyway, I always use the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I actually just got these in today, so they're not opened. These are in your back office, so those of you that already have your own accounts. I swear by these, and you can take them when you're pregnant. They are so good for you, and I have tears in both my hips, and this one specifically is the main one that actually helps with inflammation in your body. So if you have any kind of chronic pain is going to be anything that's 6 months or longer, and I could put oils on all day long. It's not going to help with the pain that I have inside my body. And that I can tell, like I was out of these because we just moved and I was trying to wait to order my vitamins till after we moved because it was one more thing to move, which was really silly of me because I'm telling you, I have been so achy for like the past 4 or 5 days since I stopped taking them. When I'm taking the vitamins, I don't realize it. Some people talk about getting this, boost of energy and their hair grows in thicker. I have a ton of hair. I don't see anything like that. I have a 2-year-old. I don't get a ton of energy. Maybe I do, but it's gone in like 2 minutes with him. But what I do notice is how my body feels and how achy I am when I don't take them. So this is another one that is really great. It's a Deep Blue Complex, not the Deep Blue Rub. The Deep Blue Rub is amazing if you have aches, pains. It can be beneficial if you have arthritis or anything like that. But again, it's like a lotion, a cream that you put on. There is the oil as well. This is something you take. It's a pill you take internally. Also helps with all of those aches and pains. I have a student that I turned on to this, and he had major knee problems, and he started taking this, and now he says he will never be without it, ever.
If I don't take that every day, I feel pain in my knee.
See, I take it, but I don't take it as regularly as I take the vitamins. I just take it on certain days that I think I feel worse, or if I've had an achier day. The tears in my hips will never repair themselves. It's just managing the inflammation in my body. This I just started on DDR Prime. I can't say too much about it except for all of the knowledge that I have from researching it because I just started it today. But this is the main one that people find beneficial. I'm trying to be careful with how I word things because it's going online. It's the main one that's most beneficial if anybody is fighting any kind of cancer, anything. And I just feel like everybody has cancer out there or getting it. And my husband's a firefighter. He's around toxins and chemicals and everything all the time. So we're just going to be on this from now on. After all the research I've done, like I will never not be without that. And this is another favorite one, On Guard. You can put it in the capsules yourself. The difference between, does anybody know the difference between the soft gel versus just the oil?
It has more stuff in it.
Do you know what's in it?
Black pepper
And
something else.
and Melissa and oregano.
Oh, yeah.
So really, if you feel like you're getting sick, take it. Not while you're breastfeeding. You need to double check that. I don't think you can take this while you're breastfeeding, just so you know. If
How
you're
many,
gonna breastfeed,
like
I'm just
2,
saying.
3?
I just take, well, I would spread it out. So I have a pretty strong stomach, so I could take one morning, noon, and night, and I'm totally fine. Some people may need to, have food. Oregano is very strong, very powerful, so it can upset some people's stomachs. So I always say take it with food. If you're sick, you need to be taking it morning, noon, and night. Sometimes my husband comes home and he's been up all night, and so the first thing he does is take one of these because he used to also get sick all the time. As soon as he didn't sleep, he would get sick, and now I'm telling you, this is why I say look at those studies with the science, because now I'm doing exactly what some of those people did that I was talking about. My husband says these are the lifesaver. They really are amazing. If you don't have these, you have to have these all the time. But there is science behind why, so definitely check that out. Okay, so in the living naturally, I don't have very many of these, so I only had like 4. So some of you, like Renee, I think you should have gotten one of those when you did your enrollment kit. Deborah, you probably already have one. I took yours, by the way. But it recaps some of the things that we talked about, the different ways to use the oils, aromatically, topically, internally. It talks about, how they source the oils, things like that. There's a survey, so if you're looking for, what do I do to make my hair look nice? It tells you, to go to the hair products. Just, little helpful suggestions. To basically have your own wellness account, it's only $35. I compare it all the time to a Costco membership, except for the fact that my husband and I just went to renew our Costco membership a few days ago, and it was $55, so it went up. So doTERRA is $35, so it's $35, you get your own account, and you have your wholesale membership for a year. You can place 1 order per year. That's all you need to do to keep your account. After that, it's $25 per year. And on your anniversary day, I believe they send you a free peppermint, so it kind of evens out. So if you're looking to kind of get as much for your money as possible, the way the membership works, just so you know, they kind of have a reward system, sort of like the frequent flyer miles. So if you're ordering consistently, you're building points, and those points are used for free products. So I'm going to tell you how I use my account. So basically this little chart over here, I'm going through this fast, but it's all here. You can read it or ask me after the class. This chart over here shows you how your points work. So the first 3 months you're part of doTERRA, you get 10% back in points. So if I spend $100, I get $10 back. But you also get free shipping. So I believe that's the second box. I don't even know if it's in here. But so whatever you order, you're paying either $6.99 or $8.99 shipping, whether you order 1 oil or 50 oils. It's always the same. But doTERRA will credit that back to you in points. So you get 10, 15, 20, 25, month 13, you top out at 30%. So every time I place an order, if I spend $100, I get $30 plus my shipping back in points, and you can use it for whatever you want to. You can let them roll over. You can send stuff to other people as gifts. You can do whatever you want with your points. It's just a really cool way to get extra free stuff. You already get a 25%. It's about 25% discount with the wholesale membership. You get your points. If you place about a $125 order by the 15th of the month, you also get a free product, and every month they change it. So, for example, this month it was Breathe. But they also sometimes do extra incentives. Like this month specifically, you get a free lavender, lemon, and peppermint if you place a $160 order. So I got lemon, lavender, peppermint, and Breathe for free. So you're looking at like probably pretty close to about $100 value. I use lemon, lavender, peppermint all the time. So it's something I actually had lemon and lavender on my order anyway, so I just took those off because I had other things. So it's pretty cool. It's a great way to try out new products, the product of the month, and you don't have to do it every month. I have a lot of friends that do it, and they like do it with their sisters or a family member, and they kind of put their orders together and they get free stuff and they build their points that way. I have lots of creative ways that you guys can do it. I do a whole class just on that. So that's really how the membership works. And then I have the paperwork if anybody wants their own membership. You just have to fill out a paper. And then I basically do your enrollment. I think yours lapsed, but you can just reinstate it. All you have to do is send an email. I actually checked on that today when you said you were coming. All you have to do is send an email, and then you have to place an order, I believe, within 30 days. You have to order something. But you just send an email, and if you blind copy me on it, I will send it to my upline, and she will expedite it. Like, it'll happen very, very fast.
Okay.
So, yeah, very cool. So, are there any questions? Okay, awesome. We're done with Periscope. Thank you.